Peace, love, everything above. It's the Juice Report 2. Love, love. Tonight is going to be something I think I want to touch on. I'm reminded of heading out to boot camp, out to Marine Corps boot camp down in Paris Island, South Carolina. Because my son, he's going to enlist in a few weeks from now. I think by the time you see this, it may be even a little bit different. But my son is going to enlist in the Army, and it's really, really, really a proud moment for me. Really, really a proud moment. Really something else. I'm super happy, super excited for him too. I know it's gonna be everything it was for me, but for him, I know it's gonna be no way he won't be able to do it. He's gonna handle it just like we were able to handle it. We're built tough like that. We're built different for things like that. You definitely find out what you're made of when you get stripped of everything else, and it's just you, and you got some things in front of you. So I'm super happy for him. And the story I want to tell is kind of, I'll probably break it down. It might be just a two-part. It may not need to be three, but it may be two-part. I'm gonna need to do probably a part or two, because the way I need to tell a story is gonna probably take it's gonna take a little minute. But it's good. It's gonna be good. Definitely good. I mean, at least I don't know. I thought it was crazy the way everything kind of unfolded. So we're going. So around 2008 or so, I even started to think about, because I have my son. I just had my son in early 2008, January 2008, and I'm going through different kind of little jobs, but then I'm starting to think. I think I was 19 when Jake was born. So I had a job. It was kind of, paying decent. Really wasn't, and to be honest, at that age, I really didn't have the mind to nowhere near the kind of mind I have now, that I wish I had back then, just to be able to maintain something. I didn't even have that kind of concept yet. But for some reason, once I had Jake, I played around with some jobs for a few months, and by the time he was a year old, things weren't going the way I thought they should have been going by that time for me. So I think I'm feeling I have to do something drastic. So the military, I'm like, yo, what? That's perfect. That's perfect. Here we go. That's an easy call. Yeah, it was an easy call. So I'm going to a recruiter station up there in Middletown. Initially, I'm going because I want to go in the Army, and I'm going. The first week I go in there. Army recruiter's not there, but the Marine recruiter's there, the Navy recruiter, Air Force, all of them are there. All of them except the Army recruiter. Next week, we go up there. I'm looking for the Army recruiter again. He's not in there, but the Marine Corps recruiter is in there, Navy recruiter, Air Force, National Guard. I think they had, I don't remember if they had every branch in there. I don't know how big I remember that building being, but I do remember they had the Marine Corps recruiter in there. They had the Navy recruiter in there, because they would always, and they would kind of like, they kind of sweat you. They kind of like, how you doing, young man? Have you ever thought about Marine? Have you ever thought about the Navy? Do you know, what do you think? So they're in there on you. You know what I mean? They're trying to get you down, get you back into their office, because they each of them have their own little office where they try to pull you off in it, so they could do their thing on you, try to wear you down. So they were all there. The Army recruiter would never be there. So this goes on. I'm going, and weeks are going by. I think maybe even almost a month, and real life isn't getting any better. You know what I mean? It really is just borrowed time, right? Because my plan was to try to but I wanted to go in the Army. And it was just delayed because they never was there. So the about the third or fourth week, I went up there. They weren't there. So I went right next door to the Marines recruiter and sat down and asked, how quickly can I get on a plane and be headed to Paris Island? Carolina. How quickly? So we made it happen. There was a couple little things that I had to try to jump through because I had a tattoo. I had a tattoo on my leg for our boy Scotty, who passed. He drowned when we was younger. You know what I mean? Rest in peace, Scott. Love you, dog. He drowned when we was younger, so I have this tattoo for him on my leg, and you have to be able to cover the tattoo. If you have it, you got to be able to cover it with your hand from the bottom of your palm, the top of your finger. If you can put your hand over it and cover it and take a picture and don't see the tattoo, you're good to go. So they helped me set up like this photo shoot, because I had to finagle it, because you do see kind of the tattoo, but we made it happen. The recruiter, he had me in there and helped me make it happen. We finagled it. And big shout out to my recruiter, Sergeant Che, because they took me around. They set you up, man. I had a bunch of unpaid tickets. I really was living reckless. And I don't know what it was. It was the guy. It was the big guy that even made me go through with this, with this military the decision to go in. It really was the big guy. I do got to give it to him, because I really wasn't living the way I should have, given my recent circumstances. Being a new father. I don't know. I definitely wasn't there yet. And so I'm doing something about it. So, yeah, we go. So, they got my license squared away and everything. So I brought everything back legit for me. So I could move around. The way an adult should be able to move around again. All right. So, took the pictures, covered the tattoos, took the pictures. So that was good. So that next thing, they put me on a bus with a couple other guys that were enlisted, and they were headed out too. They packed us up on a bus, sent us up to I think we flew out of Albany. I'm pretty sure it was Albany we flew out of, and I remember it being the first time I ever flew, so it was super crazy, that kind of feeling, you know what I mean? And I still get the same feeling every time I fly. It's just a little uneasy, a little unsettling, I guess, every time. But yeah, so I remember the plane was in leaving Albany, going going out of Albany. The plane we got on, it was pretty good. It was nice size. It had, you know, just, it was a nice size. It felt a little comfortable. I remember this wasn't important to me. The size wasn't important to me until we had a transfer, or like a layover, connecting flight. They flew us to Cincinnati. Out in Ohio. It was cold too. I remember it was cold, and you could see like the Cincinnati, the city skyline. You see the buildings and everything off, and I remember seeing how cold it looked, looking off into the city. So we get off the plane there in Cincinnati, and they put us on this tiny little Matchbox, little old airplane, man. I remember we got in, and I put my hand up on the ceiling, and I couldn't even stretch my hands up all the way. I couldn't even stretch my hands all the way out. I couldn't lock my elbow. There was no lock of my elbows. It was that small, and then it was just one seat on one side, one window, one seat on the other side. Little old tiny plane. I'm scared to death. I remember that was one of the times where I got really good, and close with everything. I got good with everything, and that kind of feeling was a little bit different, kind of shook. It was a different kind of shook. I remember that. And later on I kind of liked it, but the little old airplane had me shook. All right, it was shaking, and when we got up there, I never even really even looked out the window much. I looked right down, or I looked right in front of me, and the whole time I'm tense. The whole ride, I'm tense. And there ain't even too many of us already in the airplane, and all I'm thinking is, man, it's like, I'm thinking La Bamba, small airplane, the way it's the winter weather. We're flying down, over top rolling mountains and different kind of things. We're going into South Carolina. It's all coming from, I don't know, but we get okay. So we get thanking the big man. We get down to I think it was Savannah, Georgia, just outside of South Carolina. So that's where they had a bus for us. So when we got off in the airport, they had, we didn't just go and have seats in the regular old airport. We got off, and the military they got their own kind of, like lobby type, waiting room, lounge kind of area thing. They had these little tables set up with water, like a water dispenser, and different like different kind of mint, but it wasn't even too many mints. It was kind of weird the way they had it set up. It was real. The walls was just this weird white color. Everything was like really, I don't know, like everything was really clean. You know what I mean? That's good. It was really clean, but it was just like spotless. Like it just don't even look like nobody's ever even been in here at all. It was weird. And, they got us in here, and I don't know, it was weird. So we go in there, and everybody sits down where some people are talking, some people just sitting down. Me, I am not I'm not talking to anybody. That's just how it is. And the way I always that's just kind of how I always was. So I'm not talking to anybody. And I remember out of nowhere, a lady Marine walks in, and she's the meanest lady. Oh man, she's mean. Oh, she was mean. Everybody sit down, shut your mouth, listen to what's gonna go on. I'm like, uh-oh. Everybody, you hear the chairs moving, everybody scooting their seat in. You hearing that, people clearing their throats, all kind of stuff. I'm gonna say this once, and I'm only gonna say it one time. I will not repeat it. You're gonna look down, and you are not gonna look at me. Everyone is gonna single file. You're gonna get up one at a time and follow me out of the airport. We're gonna get on the bus. I'm not gonna hear one word from anybody. I'm like, oh Lord, it started already. So we get up, get in the single file line, head on out to, oh, we got some rain. Yeah, that's good though. No, that's good. We needed the rain. We definitely needed the rain. So we get on up. We're single file. Single file. Pack in the bus. We get in. Sit down. They turn the lights out. They have us put our heads down in our lap. Close our eyes. From the airport to the time the bus stopped, all the way in outside, just outside of the receiving building on Paris Island. Had our heads down, eyes closed. You can just feel the bumps. You can feel if you go left. You can feel if you go right, but you really can't. You know, you have no idea. And plus, I'm in a place I've never been in my life. Head down, and so they do it so that you're all discombobulated, and you have no idea how to get away. Because most of the time, when you get off the bus, first thing you think is, how do I get out of here? I have to escape. I have to leave here. I can't. I gotta go home. I'm not doing this. The first couple of seconds. That's the thing. That's the thing on the back of your mind. Then that's the thing on the back of your mind. Then you get all the way in on the island, and they stop you out in front of they have the famous yellow footprints out there. I remember we rolled up and stopped, and the light came on, and the bus door flew open, and the drill instructor he walked up in there. I forget his name. I don't even think I saw him again. I think maybe this was just one of the things that it was one of his responsibilities, was getting the brand new guys fresh off the plane from the civilian world to stepping on the first person that they meet. I think that was just probably one of his responsibilities that he had, because I don't remember him too much later on in the few months that I was down there. But he walked up in there. Listen up. The whole deal. Keep everybody's mouth closed. I don't want to hear a mother. They do, doing the whole thing, making it known. Having having control for sure. You know, so he walks up on there. Everybody sits up, perks up. Oh shit! He gives the spiel. Everybody's gonna listen up. You're gonna get up, single file. You're gonna fall out of the bus. Everybody's gonna take a yellow footprints. You're gonna run down. The first person out, you run down. You're gonna be down with the first pair of footprints. Next one, you're at the next pair of footprints, and we're gonna fill the footprints up, and that's how it's gonna go. Everyone get out now. Get on. All this rap, man. It sets a whole nother tone. Sets a whole nother tone. I'm not doing their energy any justice. So forgive me. But I would have to be, you have to be in a whole different environment for me to match the kind of energy that they have going. When they first come and get you up off that bus. It's hard to match that energy. And these guys, I got to give it to them, because these guys, they do it day in and day out. Day in and day out. They're awake when we're going to bed. They're awake, going to do finish paperwork, whatever the hell they're doing. We're dead tired. Dead tired. They're awake, waking us up at 4 a.m. every morning with still this same energy that they had yesterday. This same energy every single day. Every single day. Go, 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 go. I never seen none of them off. None of them. None of them. None of them was ever off. Them guys are good at what they do. Them guys are good. You know. All right. So yeah, we get off. We fill up the yellow footprints. This is receiving. So, receiving, you stand feet at a 45, fingers curled, thumbs at your seams is what they call it. Yeah, straight, shoulders back. Don't say nothing. Look dead straight ahead. Don't look nowhere else. Don't move. Don't try to scratch nothing. Give a damn. None of it. All right, so that they're telling you all this, blah blah blah. You move on in. They give you like this sack, this big laundry sack, but it's everything you're gonna your basics that you need at first: your toothbrush, soap bar. A pair of sneakers, sweat bottoms, and a sweatsuit top, and a skull cap. Just all the basics. I think a couple pair of socks, and they throw it all in this like this big net mesh laundry bag. You throw it up over your back, and then you follow everybody on through. Then the next thing to do from there, they let you go, and they have probably 10 or 15 phones on the wall. Like, they look like pay phones, but they're just lined up. 10 or 15 of them all down the wall, but they're just lined up together. And you're in a line, and everyone's taking turns. They tell you, I might mess it up. It's just a couple of things you call home. That's what it is. You line up, everybody's gonna call home, and you get these 3 lines you get to say when they answer, and you gotta get right back off the phone. You ain't saying, I love you, telling you how the trip went. You know what I mean? Was it turbulence? None of that kind of old mumbo jumbo, none of it. This is such and such. I've arrived safe to Paris Island. The next time I'll be able to talk to you is it's on such and such date. Bam, clink clank, hang the phone up. That's all you get to do. So bam, you move on. Bloop, this and that happens in about 4 seconds. You get to say that, boom. Now you're moving along. Just like just kind of, you know what I mean? Just the way, just the way a factory works. You know what I mean? Yeah, almost kind of like a conveyor. Just the same. So you go on through there, you get the call, and then they don't let you go to sleep, because we got on the base. It was probably like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. I remember something like that. And all of the first few procedures they make you hurry up and be real fast, but then you gotta wait. So it was a lot of that time, that first night was spent just sitting, waiting, and you couldn't go to sleep. They would have us in this big hall. When first they had us, because they was giving us these shots and doing a sight test and hearing tests on us, checking our mouths so they could, because later on they'll fix your dental work if some of your stuff is a little messed up. I got me some dental work. It was some of the best dental work that I've had, because when I was a kid, I fell riding a bike and smacked my mouth on the ground and broke my tooth. And it was always chipped. It is a little bit now, again, but as a kid, I would go and get it fixed and get it filled in, but I feel like those were trash, because I would chew on a piece of paper like shooting spitballs as a kid. Just chewing on paper and break it. A few times I went through it. And then when they fixed it when I was in the military, in the beginning of boot camp, after that, it's been the same one since 2009, early 2009. It's 2025. It's been that long, and it's still held up. Now this thing got a little fade and everything. There's a little discoloration going on, but it's done stood the test of time. Cause since then, think about how much things I had to bite through. It stood up. All right. So I got off track, but all right, yeah. So anyway, you go through processing, receiving. You know what I mean? They're gonna you get a psychiatric test. They ask you these questions. I think to evaluate, where you're at in your mind. Then you do the psych test. They see how they're gonna give you glasses. Some guys go in there thinking they're good, and they give you these big, thick old glasses because you done messed up and failed the psych test. And you got to see. It matters. You got to see. So anything you have going on, they want to know if you got a deficiency, and whatever they got to do to fix it, they're gonna do to the best of their ability and possibility. They're gonna do it. So that's what they test for, right? In the beginning. So this all takes probably all through the next day. We never got to go to sleep yet. From the time I woke up and get on the plane that day, the prior day, all the way, I'm awake all the way down, taking the planes, the ride from the airport to Paris Island, still awake all through the night, still awake up through the next day, and I believe early the next morning is when they gave us all the physical tests. They had us stretch in, they had us walk in and seen if we had one leg shorter than the other, different kind of things, having us run, doing a stress test and stuff like that. So that kind of, but there's like 80, 90 different kids, or recruits is what we were called at the time. Just in one group, there was that many, and so that was one platoon. So each of the platoon had like that many. So we be packed in. It'd be some of us having to wait outside on the grass, waiting to go into these buildings so we can test. So this stuff is taking hours and hours and hours and hours. We're still awake all throughout the next day. We get to the next night, right? But they let us go out to our barracks. We get assigned, we get a card, we get assigned what platoon we're gonna be in, who's gonna be our senior drill instructor, who's gonna be our other drill instructors, what our barracks are, our barrack number, so we know where we're gonna go. Then they're pointing us to what, our areas where, so we need to know where we group up so we then can set off, right? On to our barracks where we're gonna eventually meet them guys. Where we're going to where everything is about to begin. The reason we came down here, all the videos and everything that I done watched leading up to it, the stories that I heard, all this kind of stuff, I just can't get it out of my mind, and wondering, like, is it gonna be that way? How is it what is it what is it gonna be? What is it gonna be? So we're getting closer and closer to that. But I remember they gave us this shot in our ass that it felt like it just almost formed in like this ball in my ass. It almost hurt to sit down. I remember right after they gave it to me, I remember, I don't know what the hell that was, but I remember that was one of the things that hurt for a couple of days. I almost couldn't sit down. I still don't know what that was, but yeah, we get up out of the medical and physical testing, all that receiving it. They section us off, point us our way. We head off to our group so we can get matched up with our platoon where we're gonna go, so we know where we're gonna go, who's gonna take us down to our barracks, and finally get to put our stuff down in front of the racks, our top and bottom bunk, and finally meet our drill instructors. That's probably gonna be where I'm gonna stop it. That's gonna be where I'm gonna stop it. That's gonna be number 3. When I finally meet the drill instructors and I find out, is it what it's cracked up to be, or isn't it? Or is this gonna be some off the wall, off the chain, bugged out, kind of crazy antics that I'm about to witness? I have no idea what I'm about to be subject to. So we'll see you again when we get up on the Juice Report.